Taylor, Coach Herman said you displayed more nastiness a couple of weeks ago. How much is nastiness a part of your success? How nasty do you have to be successful?
I mean, that's just part of playing offensive line. Like it's physical up there, and it's not an easy job description to move a guy as big as you against his will. So you got to go out there. You got to have that mindset, that nasty mindset. You can't play nice on offensive line. We don't position block people. We want to move people. So I mean, that's the name of the game. Coach Warner's always been big on high effort guys, and then he'll coach up technique once he can get that effort out of you. So if you can get all the guys to be playing hard, then you can coach up technique, and it's not near as hard because the mindset of how you play can cover up bad technique sometimes.
Rutgers, what did seen on tape of them look like? They have a veteran defense, and they've played some pretty good games so far.
Yeah, I mean, just like with any team we're going to play in the Big Ten, they're all going to have good players. They're all going to have solid players. We got into their defense practicing against it a little bit in the bye week. We were expecting them to blitz a lot. We're probably expecting them to throw that bear cover zero at us too, because everybody's been trying it. So, we'll probably get more into their personnel today and later through this week. But, we can't overlook any team.
You were a freshman, I think, when Rutgers, they announced that Rutgers and Maryland were joining the Big Ten. Do you have any idea of what Rutgers was, where they were, who they were? Have any impressions at all about them?
I knew who they were, but I'd not seen a lot of them playing or anything like that. But, as I said, never want to overlook an opponent. Everybody's going to have good players. They have good players. So you just want to have that respect for your opponent, but also realize that if we go out and do what we're supposed to do, that's going to dictate how the game's going to go.
You had anybody else in that group step forward? I know we heard a lot about basically a group of 6 guys because of Chase kind of emerging there. Anybody else that you've noticed that might threaten to join that group here?
There's been a lot of guys working through in practice, especially in the bye week, and whether that was coach wanted to get guys reps just to bring them along, or because they're pushing for spots. I have no way of determining that. I mean, that's for coach to say. I'm just worried about if everybody when they're in there is playing hard, because that's a huge. You have to want to, and that's coach's call to make, not mine.
Taylor, do you guys belong in the discussion of teams people are talking about as being, in that mix of teams that in the college football playoff? Do you guys belong in that discussion?
We're just trying to go week to week right now. I don't think I would want to look that far ahead to anything like that. If we take care of our business, the chips will fall where they may. And I'm not going to be looking forward to or saying that we belong anywhere. I'm just going to say that if we need to focus on each team week to week, and we don't need to be overlooking people, because like I said, first time we overlook somebody, we're going to get beat, and then we're going to be completely out of luck.
Taylor, has anyone asked you to scout Rutgers? I'm sure you've watched some film on them by now.
Yeah, we'll probably get more into their personnel and what we expect them to do this week. But we did do a little bit of their defense through the bye week. We expect them to blitz us a lot. We expect them to play that bear cover zero defense as everybody's tried to do. But I think this week, especially today, is where we'll really get into what we're expecting them and their personnel. That's when we'll start getting into that more so.
Taylor, has there been a game, because Coach Herman keeps referring to this, that almost every game teams come out and do something y'all didn't expect on defense? Has it been that way for 5 games now? And how do you adjust on the fly?
You just have to have everybody on the same page out there, and the huge thing is communication, especially with our centers, because they have a lot to communicate to the line, and then the tackles on the edge, you have a lot to communicate to the line, so you need to make sure everybody's on the same page, and teams have been throwing all kinds of stuff at us. Maryland ran some defenses that I still to this day couldn't tell you what they were. They were just really hard to identify. And
meaning what? From the front or from what they did off the front?
The front and the types of blitzes they were bringing, their alignments. Teams have run all kinds of things against us, and even if we're wrong, if we're all wrong together, it usually works out for us. That's what Coach always tells us, because if we're all doing the same thing, right or wrong, and if we're doing it hard enough, you're usually going to get some positive yards out of it.